In this session, we are going to talk about Amazon EFS or Elastic File System. EFS provides a simple serverless set and forget elastic file system that lets you to share the data without provisioning or managing the storage. It can be used with AWS cloud services and on-premise resource and is built to scale on demand to petabytes of data without disrupting the applications. With Amazon EFS, you can grow and shrink your file systems automatically as you add or remove files, thus eliminating the need to provision and manage storage capacity to accommodate growth. EFS offers you choice of creating file systems using standard or one-zone storage classes. Standard storage class store data across multiple AZs or availability zones. One zone doesn't store the data redundantly within single AZ and thus guaranteeing you 47 lower price as compared to your standard storage class. And this is required for workloads that don't require multi-AZ resiliency. To get started with EFS, you can click on Services, navigate down to Storage where you will see EFS. Alternatively, you can go to Search and go and type Elastic File Storage and you should see EFS coming up. So let's get started with our EFS now. So for that, we'll click on Service and we will go and click on EFS. Next step will be to go and create a file system. You can give the name to this file system. So let's call it as EFS-share. This can be for one zone as we discussed, or it can be for regional. Also, you have the option to select in the VPC where you want your EFS to be created and click on the create button. In some time, you will see the EFS or the file system has been created. Initially, it is into available state. Let's go into our file system ID to understand more. Whatever you are using inside EFS or whatever data is stored is kept inside your storage. Right now, all the data is inside my one zone because as of now, I don't have any data and the default size is 6 kilobytes. In case you have to monitor the data, that how much data and the network and the objects are kept, you can go for your file system monitoring and the metrics over here is going to show you. By default, there is an alarm which is set for 75% of the capacity. If you want, you can also go and add in the tags just in case you want. So let's put a tag as created by and give the name over there. And I have the tags created. If in case you have any customized policy using IAM, that can be done using my file system policies. Then we have the network in which the mount target will start to be created across the AZs or across the subnets that we have created. Finally, you have the access point in which you can go and create an access point so that whatever users are writing to the EFS, you can get a better picture of that. So let's go back to network and we see that indeed all the mount target states are available. So at this point of time, we'll go and attach our EC2 instances and we will attach them to our EFS to see that how can the EFS or the instances share data with their EFS counterparts. For that, what I'll do is I'll go and create a Ubuntu server 20 and I'll go for a T3A small instance and I'll be creating 2 instances in parallel. Let's go, and if in case we have to work on EFS, you have to go and also enable the port number for EFS or the NFS port, which by default is 2049. So either you can go for the port over here or you can directly go and enable the port, which is 2049. Right now, because I want it to be accessible, so I am reviewing or I am setting the access from any port or IP address in this world. However, in real time, it should only be granted from a specific IP address. This one, I'm calling it as server 1. And the second machine, I'll go and call it as server-2. Now we will make a connection with the machines. So for that, I am opening the terminal and let's make a connection with both of the machines using EFS. First, on the left, I will make the connection with server 1, and after that, we will connect with server 2. So let's get started. First, we'll have to go and type sudo apt-get update to get the updates for the repository that we have. Once it is done, we will go and start to download the files required to make our code with EFS. Now that we are inside our instance, we will navigate that we will assume that we have to map our OPT drive, and inside that we'll create a folder, and inside that we will be mapping that drive to EFS. So let's go to my folder. First of all, cd/opt. Here I will create a folder by the name of my_EFS. If it is already there, that's fine. However, the first time you do, you will have to go and create the folder. Next, we will go and give the permission for that so that we can have the appropriate file action. So I am giving chmod. And once that is done, we will go and install NFS commons. So this is the network file system. We need to go and install it inside the machine. So for that, apt-get install -y and nfs-common. Doing that should install NFS common. The next command will be to go and take my file system ID over here and map it. So I already have the command with me. If you see, it is all, we have the NFS version. This part is going to remain the same. The only thing that changes will be my file system ID. So if I navigate back to my EFS, I see the file system ID over here. So this file system ID is present here, which is inside apsouth1.amazonaws.com, and I'm mapping it to my folder, which is my_EFS. If I do this, I have mapped my EFS drive to my EC2 instance now. So let's go back to my EFS and to my file system. And if I go back to my file system ID, I'll see that I have indeed mapped my device to this particular EFS. So now let's go back and create a file inside my EFS inside this folder. So I go inside my_EFS and I'll just go and create a file, let's say a1.sh. So let's go and give a message over here, hi, or let's just go and print echo. This is the file stored in EFS. Now, if this all is done, let's leave this machine because the EFS has already been installed over here. Rather, now what we'll do is we will navigate to the second machine and we will go and attach my second machine with EFS. So for that, first we need to go and make a connection with my second machine. This is done here. I type yes. First step will be to go and sudo apt-get update. Now, because the port numbers for 2049 are already in place, so I don't have to go and change the security group. Rather, I'll just go to my folder opt again over here, and I'll just go and sudo mkdir, and I will name this one also my underscore EFS. And after that, I'll go and give it the permission sudo chmod 777 and slash opt and slash my EFS. Once it all is done, I see my folder being created over here. Now, the last thing will be to go and map my EFS drive to this particular machine also. So over here, this didn't work out. The reason for that is we haven't installed the program of nfs-common over here. So let's go and do that. Sudo apt-get install -y nfs-common. Now, if everything is good, let's go and try to map it again. And if I do ls, let's go to that folder, and I see the same file, which is a1.sh, which I had created over here. So now let's do a thing. Let's just go and run this file. So let's call it as sudo bash a1.sh, and it is says this is the file stored in EFS. If you remember, the same file we had created over here, but to test it out once more, let's just go and change this file a2, and instead of this, let's say sudo nano a1.sh, and what I will do is I'll go and write one more message again, and I'll say this file has been modified and this and this. And what I'll do is, this is my server 2. I will go back to my server 1, and I will just go and run this file here also. So sudo bash a1.sh, and you see the things that I wrote inside my server 2, the same thing is being written to my server 1, which means both of these servers are actually in real time sharing data with each other using EFS. EBS cannot do the task for me. The reason is that EBS is attached to one instance itself. So in real time, if you need to go and share the data between various instances, EFS or the Elastic File Storage can help you out in those regards. So this is it for EFS.